Hey everybody, it is Friday and it is Mark here delivering you with the latest Friday freebie. Thank you everyone for turning up. I know it's never easy on a Friday afternoon, so thanks for sparing the time. We will experiment with some different days and things, so let us know at the end of the session whether you're keen on doing a different day, whatever works best for you. So I will crack on. As I said, feel free to ask questions at the end of it. And today's session is all about sales. So you use it every day. It's probably the most used screen, I'm sure, in the system. So how do we make more of the sales screen? So let's have a look at some different options. The first thing we're going to take a look at is competition winning. So it's maybe a little known thing that you can actually run all your competitions through here. So for those guys that don't do that, this is a fantastic opportunity to get more out of the system and hopefully make your life much easier as well. So let's dive into how you run competitions. So that's not only selling the competition fee, the entry fee, but also then redeeming that as winnings at the end of the competition. So this could be for your twos comps, your everyday competitions, anything can go through here if you want to keep on top of what's happening in your system. So the first thing is, and I might just mention for those guys who've used previous versions of the system, you may have used vouchers in the past to manage your competition. So here in this system, we recommend you use the customer side of things to manage those balances. So again, managing the topping up when you take the entry fee, and then managing the distribution when you then put it out to the winners. So the first thing you got to do is set up a customer as a competition. So basically create a customer, as you can see on the screen here. I've created two for you. So we've created the twos competition and also general competition entry fees. So in theory, you can create one for as many different ones as you want, or you can just have a generic one. Remember, this is the pot of money. So this is identifying the pot of money that you're going to use to spread to the winners. Okay, so generally, you could probably keep it as one competition fee. And then when you do the distribution, that's when you tell the system what competition it is, if you want to record that. But if you want a lot of detail, if you want to keep those pots separate, then by all means, create a different customer for each one. Let's just have a quick dive in here because there's a really important tip that you must know if you want to set this up. So I'm just going to edit this existing competition that we've got here. And as you can see, we've given it a generic name at the top there, twos competition in this case. The most important thing, which you really must remember to do, is tick this little box here, internal customer. If you don't tick that box, the entries element of it, so in other words, when people are paying for the competition, that element of it will not work as well as you want it to. So must tick that box. And that's basically saying this is just an internal customer. It's for reference only. It's not a customer that you're going to email or send receipts to or anything like that. So it just allows us to differentiate the type of customer that you're dealing with here. Okay, so you must tick that when you're creating your competition. So otherwise, as I said, down the bottom here, I'm going to keep it simple. I won't delve into everything in a moment, but you can have a separate account just for competitions if you wanted to. So it's not your shop account if you wanted to keep it separate. For the moment, I'm going to recommend just keep with the shop one, just to keep it simple for today. But again, feel free to have a chat with support to go through all the differences. So nice and simple. We've created a customer, we've called it the competition name in this case, where you could, as I said, keep it generic, but we've ticked that internal customer box. Okay, so that's done. So we've created the customer. So in theory, now we can start crediting that account. So here's the difference. So I could, if I wanted to, just take, let's say I took £100 for the competition throughout the day. I could just literally credit this account with £100 as I would any other account credit, put something in the notes to say why that money's gone in there. And then when I know the winners, distribute accordingly. So that's perfectly acceptable. You can carry on doing that if you're already doing it, if you're used to it. But if you want the detail to say, actually, I want to know who it is that bought entry to the competition, if I want to know the exact names, or even if I just want to know the individual amounts at the point of sale, so when they're in the front of you, you want to take that money and record that sale, then you can do that as well now. Okay, so this is a new function that you couldn't do before. So I'm going to show you both ways, but effectively, let's start with the more detailed way, which is to say I want to take a competition fee every time. So if I go into sales and I haven't set it up properly, so I haven't set up all the different competition entry fees, then you're not going to see this little blue icon here with the cup in there. Okay, so you're not going to have that on the screen. So that means you haven't set it up. So if you haven't got that icon, don't worry, I'll show you how to set it up now. That means the only way that you can credit an account, so i.e. competition account, is to pick the customer. This button down the bottom here will then become active. You press on that, you choose your competition account, choose the account you want to go to, and then you will, it will then obviously put the value of the credit onto the account. But obviously that could be quite slow and take longer than you want it to. By doing this option here, straight away we get all the competitions that we want. So that could be a different one for every competition and a different fee. So you can set up as many of these different ones as you want to. And it's as quick as clicking one button there. In this case, I have requested to ask me who is going to be in this competition. So record the name effectively, click on the name, and that's done. So it's a much quicker way than having to press the name, find the account, do the click account credit. So instantly I can get the details in there. So let's see how we get that little cup in there. How do we set that up? So as I said, first thing is you've set the customers up and you've put their, tick that little internal customer box. The next thing you got to go to is into products in the settings screen. So on the left-hand menu here, click on settings, click on products, and you'll notice there's a competitions button there. So click on competitions. Now this will be blank if you've not done it before. So all you got to do is click on add competition, and that will then bring up this screen here. So all you got to do, give it a name. So again, it depends how much detail you want to do here. As you've seen, I've set up each competition name. And I would generally, if you're going to do this, you probably do want to set up each name individually. So set up all your different medals, etc. in here if you wanted to, and the twos comp if you want to keep that separate. So you give each competition a name, you give each competition an entry fee. Now, if you have a competition where there's multiple entry fee prices, where there's different ones, you can set them all up as a different competition if you wanted to. It's still going to show up on that screen. So it makes it easier just to click the one that you want. So give it an entry fee. And then importantly, do you want to capture who it is that is actually purchasing this entry fee? So do you want the name of the person? So tick that and it will come up as we saw earlier, asking you for a name, and that will allow you to put the details in. Underneath that, you've got more of a description. So again, that's just going to appear on the sales screen just to give you an idea if you wanted to. And you can change the color of it as well. So a bit like the quick keys, which we're going to come on to later on. You can change the color, change what's in the description there if you want to. I'm leaving that blank at the moment. I've just given it a color. That's all I've done. And lastly, you've got the account type. Now, if you've only got one account, that's fine. Just leave it as the default one there in shop. And then again, the other really important bit on this screen is to make sure you select which competition it is associated, or which competition account, sorry, it's associated with. So in this case, if you've only got one customer, so this is the customer you've set up, then you just press select in here and that will select the customer that you want. You'll only see the ones that are active anyway. So if you ever come to the screen and there's nothing in here, then the key thing, you haven't ticked that internal customer box. So make sure you go and do that. Otherwise, that's your competition done. So it's name, entry fee. And as I said, if you've got multiple entry fees, just create another competition for each one. And then which account type and which actual account you're linking it to. So we've done that. We've got the basic competitions in there. You're pretty much ready to go. So we're back to sales, exactly what I was doing before, where you start the sale and you've got your new icon should appear now. So once you've set it up, once you've set it up correctly, literally your new button will appear there, and at any time you can click on that and select the relevant competition fee. Okay, and again, it's entirely up to you how much information you want from here. So, and don't forget, because this sale now is much more flexible than it ever has been in the past, you can do all of this as well as vouchers, as well as shop sales, green fees. All of it can go into one sale, and it'll automatically separate it out for you at the end. So I'm going to put this competition fee in against good old Mr. Smith. He's going to pay me card, and that's it. So obviously you would just do that throughout the day, top up throughout the day as the competition fees come in. And at the end of the day, that's when we then distribute the winners. So now at this point, we're at the same level where if you've run it individually with each individual fee, or if you've just done one dump of £100 into the competition account at the end of the day, both now have an account with X amount in it. and you're ready to distribute it to the winners. So once you know the winners, all you got to do is click on the account transfer button at the top here, and that's where I can effectively move the money from the competition account into the individual winners. And again, massive change now from where we were before, because now you can do it all in one screen. So there's no need to keep doing lots and lots of account credits anymore. So shop account type at the top here. Again, if you're normally only going to have one there, so don't worry about that. Select the competition account that you want to take it from. So here again, if you've got one competition customer, then just use that one. And we're going to take it from, we've got a nice big balance on there, so let's take it there. So we've got a competition account here with lots of money in it. We're now going to transfer it to the winners. But before I do that, at the top of the screen, you'll notice there's a notes field. If you are being fairly generic with the customer name, in other words, just a general competition fee, general competition account, sorry, then don't forget to use a notes field to specify exactly what competition it is. So we're going to call this the Friday freebie comp. And then we're going to select the winners. So you just click add here, and off you go. So select your winners, add them to the competition winnings. I'm going to pick some random ones here. And how much did they win? So this guy won on 10, and this one by 5. And you can put individual notes if you want to appear on their statement as such. If you made a mistake, just press the delete button. Otherwise, we're done. Simple as that. Transfer, and that's done. So it's as quick as that. So you're firing through the entry fees every day. And then once you know the winners, you're doing one screen to do the account transfer. So as you can see, it's a lot quicker to manage and run that through Xpos. So go and have a go with that. I said I'm recording this video so you can play it back if you get lost, but effectively nice and simple. Just create the customer, create the competition fees, and then just run it day to day. So hopefully you'll have a go with that. The other thing I want to show you is just finding products within the sales screen itself. I know that sounds obvious, but I just wanted to remind you that there's lots of different ways that you can do it. And then I'll finish up with a little bit of a quick key lowdown as well, as I'm running through the time already. So finding products. Obviously, the main thing that you're going to be doing day to day is using the barcode that's on the product, I assume. I'm going to assume you're using Xcodes. Just use a manufacturer's code for the majority of the products in your store. I get it. Some products don't have barcodes, so that's fine. You can create other ways. You can print your own barcodes out, remember. We'll talk about that another session. But as you can see there, I've just scanned the barcode in. That's brought the product up. That's by far the quickest way. I know that's obvious, but no worth reiterating. Other ways of doing it is at the top here, you can actually type in there. So you can type in here the product you want. But again, you're going to need to be fairly specific, because if you're too vague, it will bring up a massive search. Now, what's happened here, I've typed in Pro V1 in this example, and it's basically narrowed it down to all the ones that are Pro V1s, as you can see. And again, one massive difference between this and older versions of the system is it's highlighting the products that are in stock. So it's ignoring all those products that don't have current stock levels. So it's always prioritizing the ones that it thinks you will want. So let's say, for example, I want the 23 Pro V1. When I click on it, it's then taking me to the next level down. So what color ball do I want? In this case, I've got 2. So I'm going to select the white one here. And then the last option is, do I want the single sleeve, or do I want the dozen pack? And as you can see now, the way we display dozens hopefully is much easier to understand. You've got the big ×4 in there to highlight exactly what it is. So if that's the one I want, click on that, and that adds it to the sale. Now, that was clicking on search at the top there and typing directly into there. So that's one option. And all that's effectively done is bypass the initial search, that if you click on the magnifying glass, that you start there. So if I click on that there, you'll notice I'm in the same look and feel, but I've started at the top levels. In other words, I'm starting to work down the groups to get to the one I want. So if you remember, if you have the old system, up on the top right-hand side, it was the quick groups, so you could work your way through the groups. But this is a much more powerful, hopefully easier to find the product way of doing it. So by clicking on the magnifying glass, I can then select which department I'm starting with. So I'm going to go golf shop. I'm going to find the same product effectively. So we go back to balls. And now, as you can see, I've got a much larger search, because I'm now got all the different balls that I do, so by brand, etc. So in the past, I would have had to, at this level, find the product that I wanted. And obviously, you can imagine potentially hundreds of products to pick from there. So what we've introduced is, firstly, obviously, again, we sorted it by stock. So only products that's showing at a stock level. But also at the top left here, you can start to narrow it by brand. So I can actually say, you know what, I only want to see my type list ones. So that is a much quicker way of finding the products that you want. So do remember, use the attribute option or the brand option at the top left there to narrow it down. I could also narrow it down by color. So if you're doing a clothing search, that's really handy if you want to start to narrow it down by color. And then I can find the ball that I want. So again, we're now back in the similar search to where we were before, and we can choose the one that we want to add to the sale. So that's using the magnifying glass there. Lastly, it is the quick keys. So I've mentioned this in the past, and I'm sure you understand that obviously the concept of quick keys is to make it quick to sell a pencil or something that hasn't got a barcode. That's traditionally what it was for. It was also used to put green fees and hire things that don't have a stock level. So I totally get that, and you can obviously carry on using that. But we have sexed up the quick keys, if you can do such a thing, because now not only can you add individual products, i.e. one type of green fee, but you might have spotted in my quick keys here, you can actually add groups in there as well. So as a, let's say, classic example, if I'm a club that has quite a lot of different green fees, depending on the day of the week, depending on the membership type, depending on the visitor type, etc., you might find that you fill that little space up pretty quickly with just green fees, and then you've got no room to add all the other hire and the other individual products that don't have a barcode. So to negate this, rather than you having to go to the magnifying glass every time, you can now add a subgroup to the quick keys. So what I've done with green fees here, because I've got so many, I have literally just put a quick cut to the green fees side of things. So I click on that there, and straight away now I've got a list of all my green fees. So rather than me having to fill up that entire quick keys, just one button press, I can go straight to a list of all my green fees. So that's a fantastic way, again, loads of information into one screen nice and quickly. And then I can just pick the one that I want. Oh, I'll go for that one. There we go. Okay. How do we do that? Okay, so that's in the quick key setup. So let me show you. I'm going to cancel this sale here. And I'm going to go back to the settings side of things. So this is where it's all set up. And then within settings, this time we're going to go into the sales section within settings. And you'll notice there's where the quick keys are. So click on that there. Okay, so at the top here, it always starts off blank, so don't panic. Just click on the top left there for location, for main shop, or whatever your shop is called. And then you'll get a recreation of what your quick products are looking like currently in the sales screen. So you've got lots of things you can do here. If I want to move them around, I can literally click and drag, and that will move it around. If I want to edit any of them, I can just hover over the one I want to edit, and I can change things like the wording, or I can change the color of the text and the color of the button itself, or I can delete it completely. So the usual things that you can do. But let's show you the main one, which is the plus symbol here. So the plus symbol basically allows us now to add lots of different things. So as I said, obviously, traditionally, it was always the individual product, but actually now we've got 4 options. So you've got subgroup, product, variant, and price break as well. So that's another thing. So variant is basically what variant of the variant of the product. The subgroup is the one that I was talking about earlier. So this is where I can now search for, as I said, green fee. And I can add that to the quick keys as a button. So any of these groups that you have in your system can be added as a shortcut so that you don't have to press 100 different buttons to try and find the product you want. So anything that you don't think has so it's the usual stuff, that doesn't have a stock level or whatever it may be. So most commonly going to be green fees or lessons or something like that. You can add that button to your quick keys and then quickly find masses of products. Just to explain the price break side of things. So if you wanted to sell a dozen as opposed to a single sleeve, and you wanted to make that quick, perhaps there's a couple of things that you want to make quickly add to the quick keys, and you can do it by price break as opposed to the individual variant. So have a play around, see what suits you. And I said, it's all very flexible. Just save at the top there or discard if you've made a little mistake. So as I said, it definitely speeds things up by having the group on the quick keys there. Okay, so that's quick keys, that's searching. So hopefully that helps you get a little bit more out of the sales screen. As I said in the past, we've already covered things like vouchers. I'm not sure I've got a huge amount of time left. But in terms of vouchers, don't forget you've got the 3 types of vouchers. You've got your email / digital vouchers, you've got your receipt vouchers, and you've got your printed ones. So they are all in the same areas as we've been talking about. and you can, let's say, create multiple different vouchers as you want. So I assume you've all got vouchers set up on there, otherwise you wouldn't be getting this far in the system. But just remember, you have an option to sell multiple ones. You don't have to just sell the one type of voucher. You can do your email vouchers, you can do your pre-printed, etc. You can set up all three different types if you want to do all three. So rather than being stuck with one. So yes, the email ones will send out an email with the voucher on there. Don't forget, if you're using Caddy, which hopefully you are, Xcaddy, sorry, then those vouchers will appear in the Xcaddy app as well. So they'll be able to just bring up their Xcaddy app and scan it from there as well. Pre-printed away, you've already got a book full of numbers, vouchers with numbers on it. So you can put that number into the system as you sell it, and receipt comes on the receipt, obviously. As I said, for the future, we think pretty much most people are going to go down the email route. So if you haven't already set that up, do have a go in here and you can set up your email vouchers. As I said, you can run it alongside the other ones as well. So you can pick and choose what you want on there. So that's the voucher side of things. In terms of other stuff I wanted to go through, so we wanted to quickly just show through the Xcaddy side of things. So if you've moved from the old system and they were already using the Caddy app in the previous system, then don't forget this should be a fairly straightforward move. As soon as they try to access the old app when you've migrated, they will automatically get a message that says, hey, download the new one and register through that one. So that should be a fairly straightforward message. For those who've not used Xcaddy, I mean, this is a game changer for the industry. So this allows you to do lots of different things. It's basically the whole of the Pro Shop in one place. And as I said, we've got some really exciting things coming as well, not only what we've got now, but what we've got coming in the next months as well. But even now, right now, you give this to all of your customer base, they're going to have instant access to all of your shop, so they can see what's in stock. And this is your live stock levels, your live pricing. You have complete control over this. If it's in stock in the shop, it's going to appear on the app. If it's not in stock, it won't appear on the app. But it also allows them to reserve or at least request to see whether you get hold of a product if you want to as well. So it's a great communication tool, and not only them to you, but also you to them. So once you've got your app on their phone, they can also access everything from their account balance, which is a massive game changer. So you think how many times people come into your shop and ask you, what have you got on my account? The amount of time you spend doing that, instantly you can say, no need to come into, or no need to ask me what I've got on my account. Just check it on your phone. And while you're there, reserve and collect the product you're after. So all those times that you see those guys who go, oh, I bought this club because I was just at home checking American Golf or another store online, and they hadn't even thought about your store. The key thing you've got to get into them with this app is that, well, they've got their account balance, they can see what they've got, and at the same time, they can reserve any item that you've got in store right there and then, wherever they are in the world. But it's not just the reserve and collect, it's not just their account balance, it's also lesson booking. So if you do online lesson booking, you can stick any lesson booking in here, and that will take them straight through to your diary. So a really quick and easy way of doing that. As I said, you've got the vouchers there. So all the vouchers you sell, the digital ones, they'll appear in there. You've got all the messaging. So as I said, not only have you got the messages from them to say, oh, have you got this product or can you get this product? But you can also use the push notifications within the app to send them information as well. And that could be anything. So we've got people who use it for the course is open. We've got people using it to say stock has arrived, whatever it may be. And I said the exciting feature is that effectively this can all be triggered automatically. So you don't even need to do anything. It's going to do it automatically in the future. So watch this space. And then you've got all the basic stuff. So all the customer statements, just information about the shop in the My Pro Shop area, and even just simple thing like all their orders and receipts. So everything in one place for you. And there's more coming down the road as well. So this is a really exciting way. And if you want any more information on that, please do go to the website. There's a whole way on how to market it as well and how to get the most out of it. And we're coming up to a key point, I think, in the season where now's a great time to get out there, start spreading the message for the new season. This is a fantastic time to start integrating Caddy into everyone's phones. So please do get on there. Give us a shout if you need any more information on that. Really, really quick one, because I've got to go on Zeft as well. So this is our integrated payment solution. We've started talking about this a lot now, and this is a really exciting time for this as well. So effectively, we've done payment integrations in the past with mixed results. The pain that's always been is the fact that you do have multiple card machines on the till, and that's always been difficult. So it always slows down things. You have massive queues out the door. because you've got to pay on one for the one, and you've got to pay on another one for another thing for the green fees, and one for the shop, and then effectively just managing that and managing the money between the companies, and also even just the fact that you've got to manually type it in. It's rife with mistakes, and effectively slows everything down. So with this new system, Zeft, it's one card payment by the customer. So the customer walks in, he could be buying green fees, lessons, and the pro shop stuff, and all three in one sale in Xpos, and also all three in one sale on the card machine. And the money will automatically move to the correct bank account. So it doesn't go through your account, it goes direct to the right bank account. So you don't have to do anything. So it saves huge amounts of time and worry. So please do get in contact. We'll be obviously reaching out over the next few weeks and months, but please do go in contact. It's a great way for the new season to speed everything up for you. Talking of speeding up, last screen, I'll very quickly go through this. We're now into spring. My God, we're into spring already. So next release is coming out at the end of the month. In there will be the Zero launch as promised. So Zero is coming out. So again, if you've got a time with Zero, if you haven't got Zero, obviously we do that's our recommended part at the moment, but we are working on other integrations such as for Sage and others in QuickBooks, but that's based on demand. So if you are interested in integration into your payment solution, into your account solution, then please do let me know. And we can make a note, because as I said, the more people that put their hands up and say, I would like it for this particular accounts package, the more likely we are to do it. But obviously Zero is the most majority of customers use that. So, and we're busy working on Shopify integrations, and so multi-site's gone out now, so that's great. So if anyone has more than one site, we now have the software to manage multiple sites. There's lots going on. We haven't got time today, so I do apologize for rushing a bit at the end there, but hopefully that covers a lot of things. We're doing these every 2 weeks. I don't know why I rushed. There's going to be another one in another 2 weeks. As I said, we will play around with the days, so do let me know if you think there's a better day for this. But otherwise, thank you so much for attending. If you've got any questions, please do let me know now, and I will have a little chat with you. Otherwise, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks very much.